Hello everyone, we are going to discuss about the previous year questions of Corporate Accounting 2 from University of Madras. In April 2019 part C, this question is from liquidation of companies. Let me read the question. The following was the balance sheet of Delta Company Limited as on 31st/12/1986. Under the liability side, share capital 20,000 shares of rupees 10 each. The amount is rupees 2 lakhs. Bank overdraft unsecured 1,100. Partly secured creditors 29,180. Salaries and wages for 6 months 6,300. Taxes due to government 800. Trade creditors 97,600. The total liabilities are 3,34,980. And go to the asset side. Under the assets, goodwill 30,000, buildings 25,000, plant and machinery 37,400, stock 58,000, debtors 46,000, cash 500, profit and loss account 1,38,080. The total assets are 3,34,980. And the adjustment, the company went into liquidation and the assets realized as follows. Buildings which were used in first instance to pay partly secured creditors rupees 18,000, plant and machinery rupees 25,000, stock rupees 31,000, debtors rupees 43,500. Expenses on liquidation amounted to rupees 1,100. The liquidator's remuneration was agreed at 3% on the amount realized except cash and 2% on the amount paid to unsecured creditor other than preferential. Prepare liquidator's final statement of account. Based on the question, we have to prepare the liquidator's remuneration and the liquidator's final statement. First, look at the note number 1. 3% on assets realized except cash and 2% on unsecured creditors other than preferential creditor. It means 3% liquidator's remuneration from the total assets realized, but we do not take cash balance. And 2% of liquidator's remuneration from unsecured creditors, but we do not take preferential creditors. And note number 2, all wages, salaries, whether payable for part or full-time work, commission to any employee due for period not exceeding 4 months within the 12 months next before the commencement of the winding up of the company, and any compensation payable to a worker under the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. So as per the Act, if there is any due related to the wages and salaries, we have to take only the 4 months. If there is any beyond 4 months, we do not take that amount. So the maximum allowable is only 4 months. And first we are going to find out the liquidator remuneration from assets realized. So first we have to mention assets realized. Under the assets realized, we have to mention buildings rupees 18,000, plant and machinery 25,000, stock 31,000, debtors 43,500. We have to add this amount, so we get the total is 1,17,500. That is called the total assets realized. Then we have to find out the liquidator remuneration from the total assets realized. The percentage is 3, so 1,17,500 divided by 1,17,500 multiply with 3 divided by 100, we get 3,525. And we are going to find out the amount available to unsecured creditors and liquidator remuneration on amount available of unsecured creditors. First we have to mention the receipts. Under the receipts, we have to mention assets realized 1,17,500, which we have already calculated, and cash rupees 500 from the question from asset side. Then we have to total this amount. So we get the total amount is 1,18,000. That is called the total receipts. Then less and payments. Under the payments, liquidators remuneration on assets realized 3,525. Liquidation expenses 1,100. Partly secured creditors in bracket building 18,000. It means building's realization value is 18,000. It has pledged with partly secured creditors. And preferential creditors include salaries and wages for 4 months. As per the act, we have to take 4 months only, plus a tax due to government. But the actual salaries and wages amount for 6 months, that is 6,300. We have to divide with 6. So 6,300 divided by 6, we get 1,050 for 1 month. Then we have to multiply with 4. We get the 4 month due for 4,200 plus 800 is a tax due. So we get the total amount is 5,000 as a total preferential creditors. Then we have to add all the payments items. We get the total payments are 27,625. That amount will be less from the total receipt of 1,18,000. So 1,18,000 minus 27,625, we get 90,375. That is called the amount available to unsecured creditors. Then we are going to compare the amount available to unsecured creditors with the actual amount of unsecured creditors. So in this concept, the amount available to unsecured creditor is less than the actual amount of unsecured creditor. First, we have to find out what are the items are unsecured creditors categories. Balance partly secured creditor which has not pledged against building. It means partly secured creditors minus building. So the actual amount of partly secured creditor amount is 29,180 minus building realized value is 18,000. So we have to deduct that amount with the total partly secured creditor, that is 29,180 minus 18,000. We get the balance amount of 11,180. That is called the unsecured portion of partly secured creditors. So the excess amount will be considered as the unsecured category. The 18,000 only be considered the secured category. The excess value will be considered the unsecured category. Then plus trade creditors. All the trade creditors are unsecured categories. We have to add that amount. And bank overdraft is also one of the unsecured categories. We have to add that amount. So we get the total is 1,09,880. It means 11,180 plus 97,600 plus 1,100. That is called unsecured creditors. 1,09,880 is called unsecured creditor. Then we have to compare the actual amount available to unsecured creditor with the actual unsecured creditor. So in this question, as I said earlier, the amount available to unsecured creditor is less than the actual amount of unsecured creditor. So that is why it is called a shortage. If it is any shortage, the liquidator's remuneration percent will be mentioned in the denominator with 100 as well. It means 90,375 multiply with 2 divided by 102, we get 1,772 as liquidator's remuneration on amount available to unsecured creditors. Then we are going to find out the liquidator's final statement. That statement must be ledger format. First, we have to mention in the debit side as receipts and credit side as payments. Under the receipts, we have to mention assets realized. The amount is 1,17,500, which we have already calculated, and cash rupees 500 from the question from asset side. And go to the payment side. Under the payments by liquidators remuneration, 3% on 3% on assets realized, that is 3,525, which we have already calculated, and 2% on amount available of unsecured creditor 1,772, that is also we have already calculated. The total liquidator remuneration is 5,297. It means 3,525 plus 1,772. And by partly secured creditors building, realized amount is 18,000, and by liquidation expenses 1,100, and by preferential creditors, so as per the question, 4,200 from wages and salary for 4 months plus 800 from tax due. So the total preferential creditors are 5,000. So after mentioning all this information, we have to find out the difference value. The difference value is in the credit side, that is 88,603. That is called the balance unsecured creditor. That's all.